Previously on Miles in Transit.
That's our last time stepping off of a Greyhound bus.
That's not true. You're taking me on a Greyhound. Spoilers.
We now return to Miles in Transit.
We're at Seattle SeaTac Airport trying to get this inexplicable Greyhound.
We're back on Greyhound. I didn't miss it.
We're taking Greyhound's run from Seattle to Port Angeles, Washington. It starts at the Seattle airport, theoretically deviates to a bunch of hospitals in downtown Seattle, gets on a ferry to go across the Puget Sound, and then makes its way through some beautiful woods to end up in Port Angeles.
First, we had no idea where it boarded. Greyhound doesn't tell you. We walked to the charter bus area.
We walked literally around the entire parking garage.
We had to go into the Dungeness Lines website, and they said to board here, because Dungeness Lines contracts this route to Greyhound.
There's no signage, actually. There's not a single Greyhound sign.
There's no sign of the bus. It's supposed to technically have boarded a couple minutes ago. The tracker shows it parked in Seattle. Like Seattle. We have a ferry that leaves like an hour after we're supposed to arrive, but if we're an hour late, I guess we'll just get the next ferry 4 hours later. Oh my gosh, here it is. Not in Greyhound livery, it's very much a Dungeness line bus. It is Greyhound seats on a minibus. That's fantastic. There's actually an overhead bin that can fit big bags. I also like how back here there's some regular minibus seats and a jiggly wheelchair lift, but this bike might stop it from jiggling. We're experiencing a level of hospitality that we have never experienced on Greyhound ever. We got free water, free snacks, and free Oreos. This is insane. Why can't all Greyhound be like this? We're being treated like not only people, but like respected people.
My stuff isn't locked on the bus.
Continuity update. We've moved to the right of the bus because I think this is where the views are. All right, we're leaving. What time is it?
11:50.
What time were we supposed to leave?
11:50.
It's industry. This bike is doing wonders at keeping the wheelchair lift from jiggling that much. We're stopped at the Seattle Greyhound station for maybe 10 minutes. Someone actually got off here, which kind of makes sense because it's a good spot to transfer to another Greyhound bus.
Which I had to point out. Miles was very confused.
Anyway, let's explore the station.
This one's really nice.
It's very linear. So we're going to the Amtrak station next. Fulmer shot. And it's a non-articulated trolley bus on the 7. Are you kidding me? Alina, what are your thoughts on this? The bus really does stop right in front of the Amtrak station. This is very convenient if you're ever trying to get to Port Angeles from an Amtrak train. The cup holders of doom on this bus are actually effective too. I like how our method for leaving the station is just kind of reversing out. This is a hill. We've just hit on the highway, so we're leaving Seattle. There are a bunch of stops on here that it could potentially make at various hospitals, but I guess we didn't make any of those, so early arrival maybe? This is a minibus, so it's a little bumpy on the highway.
My tummy was not happy.
And they don't even have barf bags on this one. There's a ton of traffic here that seems like a line for the ferry, but we're passing it. I don't really know if we're in like a priority lane or something.
To make our way down to the lower dock and park and take a break. Time now is going on 1:05. We will be parked until 1:20.
Oh, smell that salty air. So we get a break here for 15 minutes. The driver said he has to go to the terminal to take care of the cost of the trip. We're waiting here at the ferry terminal. The website says that the ferry's about half an hour late, and it's every 50 minutes, and there's a massive line down the road. The boat's coming in.
We have a 20-minute sail time. Observation deck is up on top. Galley should be open.
Oh, we're heading on a ferry. This is very cool. It's a Greyhound on a ferry. Wow, this is really nice.
History.
What?
That way there's history.
There is? History. All right, Alina, point out where we are. We're at the galley, and there is a whole cafe here. I don't care how expensive it is, we have to get boat food. We're up at the sun deck. We got applesauce, chicken Caesar wrap, and a large popcorn.
We're at 20-minute crossing.
Leave your guesses in the comments as to how much those items were.
You will never guess.
$17.11. And the popcorn was just $4.50. Like, that's actually decently cheap.
Like 11.
My favorite reference is like AMC. Can you believe we're in the middle of a Greyhound trip right now?
This trip has been so nice.
Yeah, we're on a Greyhound bus.
What do you got there? Ooh.
Actually, this is good.
Good.
Not worth $11. This is good.
We're on a boat. We have food. Boat food.
Doesn't get better than this. Eating boat food on a Greyhound, technically, flanked by Mount Rainier in Seattle.
This is a life.
Okay, return to the vehicle. Our steed awaits. Just like that, we're back on the bus. We're gonna keep driving. It's so cool. Here we go, Kingston, Washington. There's the boat, and there's where we just were, somewhere across there. This is apparently the Kingston stop in front of
Food market.
whatever that is. What is it?
It says food market.
Food market.
Guess what they sell there?
Driver said our next stop is Squim, which is spelled like Sequim. Just entered some very Pacific Northwest woods. We can sort of see the water. Can you? Oh, well, now you can. We're in Port Gamble, a really nice little town here. Thoughts on the bridge?
It's doing its job.
Look, everyone, it's Fat Smitty. We're turning onto the main street of Squim here. Do you see that Radio Shack logo?
So good. And the Goodwill has it like designated as a Squim Goodwill. I've never seen that before.
Welcome to Port Angeles.
The Port Angeles Gateway Transportation Center, right near the ferry to Victoria. We've just come into Victoria on the Blackball ferry line.
We're in Canada.
Canadian dollars. Wow. So talking about the Greyhound to Port Angeles, which connected perfectly to the ferry, honestly the single best Greyhound experience I've ever had.
And you're talking to people who just took 4 days of Greyhound. The guy, Eugene, I'll use his name because he was the best. He was talking to the passengers, like he knew some of them by name. He was joking around with them. He gave us chips, cookies, water. I think part of it was also like the minibus experience. Like there weren't as many of us.
I know, it's such a like a minibus situation.
My critique is that the minibus suspension is bad, and there were points when I felt like I was gonna fly out of my seat.
Scenic views, the ferry ride is really fun.
Very scenic views.
Honestly,
rural Washington.
A great Greyhound experience.
Yeah.
The best I've ever had. If the rest of Greyhound could be that hospitable, it would be a much different company than it is now.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go explore the wonders of Victoria. We're going to go to all the different tourist destinations and get some food and get some drinks and get some museums and go to the...
Please stop.